of my guys right there in Chi-Town. I hope we win tonight and get that eighth spot. Well, in regards to that whole Paxton and Del Negro thing, Paxton should know better as a former player about what to do when a player comes off an injury and what not to do, and especially considering the position that he's in, because he's actually on the hot seat as the president of basketball operations for the Chicago Bulls. Because last season they hired Gar Forman to oversee the transactions and whatnot. I think John Paxson is trying to save face and start some controversy. But all in all, I think Del Negro was a good coach for us, considering his record 81-82, 2 playoff appearances in a row. It's about to be the third tonight, hopefully.
Yeah, well, they had that. They had that before, and they fired that coach.
And see, the sad part about it is, and I agree wholeheartedly with you, Quinn, you have a situation where you have a former player who played hurt. Now, I know if my job's on the line, I'm going to say you need to do what we need to do to win. However, do not put that player in jeopardy. And the sad part about it is the doctor said, well, he shouldn't play. And he said, listen, we're trying to make the playoffs. I want to play. Del Negro said, okay, we'll do it, but let me back up. The doctors have said he should play, but let's limit his minutes. Paxson got pissed off because it seemed like Del Negro was ignoring the request of the doctors and his request. So, being on the hot seat, Paxson, you're right, Q. He needs to straighten it out. But let's look at the playoff picture. Let's look at the Eastern Conference first. You have the team with the best record in the NBA, so they will have the home seed throughout the whole entire playoffs, and that is the Cleveland Cavaliers at 61-20. They're on a 3-game losing streak. They're 5-5 out of the last 10 games. They have they have a good road record. Matter of fact, the best road record in the conference at 26-14. They're Q, unfortunately. They're going to draw Chicago in the first round. But at least they made the playoffs, and Chicago is 40-41. The last 10 games are 7-3, and they're on a 2-game winning streak. So, yeah, I think Chicago's going to give them a little bit of a fight, but I really don't think that there's going to be that much of a contest. Then you have, go ahead.
Everybody said that last year when we played against Boston. We put them to 7.
Well, yeah, taking somebody to 7 is good, but like I said, put me out my misery early and right away, then let me drag this thing on. Orlando will end up playing Charlotte. Atlanta will end up playing Milwaukee. And Boston will end up playing Miami. Your thoughts on the key matchups in the Eastern Conference this first round? Q, we'll start with you.
No upsets, probably. When you look at the way you look at the matchups in the playoffs, there's probably going to be no upsets. Orlando, they can coast against the Michael Jordans, the Charlotte Bobcats, I call them. Boston and Miami, that's just one-sided all the way around. And Atlanta might give up one at least against Milwaukee. Oof. So I give it to the top 4 seeds. They can move on scot-free basically. Because, the best 4 are the best 4, and the bottom 4 are the bottom 4 in that conference.
Okay, Finesse.
I disagree with you, Coach Q, and you and I were on the road for a little bit. I think the series to watch is going to be the Boston-Miami series. I think, and the news coming out of Boston is that Doc Rivers will not be back next year. Whether he's deciding to quit or he was going to be fired, that's still to be remain to be seen. But the speculation is he won't be back next year. And if you watch Boston play all year, they lost games they shouldn't have lost. They weren't listening to Doc. I think they got the Negroitis after they won the championship. They thought, other than Ray Allen, because Ray Allen seemed to be the play every night. But I think Miami's a little hungrier, and I think that Boston's going to get upset. Orlando, Stan Van Gundy always finds a game where he outcoaches himself. So look for them to lose 1, maybe 2. And the same thing goes with the rest of them. I think the league may pass down to their refs to to throw a game in another team's favor just for ad revenue. Chicago, it'd be interesting to see because I think Chicago is just as hungry. I don't think they'll take it to a 7-game with LeBron because if they do, then something's wrong with Cleveland. But I think that they could push it to about 5 games.
I got to agree with you, Finesse, in terms of this Boston-Miami matchup. But let's keep in mind, I honestly think that Miami is going to upset Boston.
Yeah, I do too.
You have,
Oh, man.
You have the Heat winning 9 out of their last 10. They're on a 2-game win streak. The Celtics are, won 4 out of their last 10, and they're on a 1-game losing streak. The Celtics are imploding. They are not playing to their potential. The Celtics are not doing what they're capable of doing. I got to agree with you on the Negroitis. I don't know what happened, arrogance, stupidity, whatever you may want to call it. However, I think that Boston's going to get bounced in the first round, and it would not be the first time that has happened. But I do agree that the top 3 seeds will advance. Milwaukee's going to definitely push Atlanta. However, I think Atlanta's just got a little bit too much for them in their arsenal. Taking a look at the Western Conference, the Lakers has the home court advantage throughout the Western Conference, and you have the L.A. Lakers and the Oklahoma City Thunder. As they say in the business, Oklahoma City Thunder, congratulations for making the playoffs. Your first series is against the L.A. Lakers. However, that game could be pushed to 6 and could be pushed to 7. Next, you have Dallas versus San Antonio. Interesting matchup. I don't know what to think about that. Utah versus Portland, Phoenix versus Denver. Finesse, start us off. What comes to your mind when you see this playoff matchup?
Well, when I see this, the West is anybody's game. The Lakers are not playing well. Kobe's back to that ball hog himself, and I think with Oklahoma City, or should I say my Seattle SuperSonics, can upset the Lakers. I really think that they can. I think they can at least push it to 6, maybe 7 games. But I think if they can go in there and steal one, then they can win this thing. Dallas and San Antonio, it's a toss-up. Hello?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, Dallas and San Antonio, it's a toss-up. Not sure which San Antonio team is going to show up. I know Richard Jefferson is going to be trying to play lights out since he's going to be playing for a contract because he's already said he's going to opt out of his contract. And Dallas, to me, ever since you got rid of Avery Johnson, you're still a soft team, soft like Mr. Softy Ice Cream. So you're just in the playoffs to make Cuban money. So I don't care. And the other series is Denver and Phoenix.
Yes.
Denver is imploding right now. George Karl is not on the bench. There's been a lot of stuff going on. They've been losing games they shouldn't have been losing. And this is a team that I picked to go to the finals. I still want to stand by that, but it wouldn't surprise me. They lost the other night to Phoenix when they know that was the game that they should have won, and they lost. So, that's a toss-em game right there.
Q?
Oh, man. That's what happened to us, man. But, when you look at the Thunder series, the 8-1, I'm going with the Thunder to go get this one 4-3 because if you look at your calendar 2 weeks ago and what you see what Oklahoma City did to LA in LA with Kobe playing and Gasol playing, they won by 24. If I'm not mistaken, which I'm not, but to be modest. These guys can play. They're an up and down squad. LA's not as up and down as it used to be. You look at the scheme of LA, that triangle, the slow, the 24-second offense. Oklahoma City's not trying to steer 24 seconds on defense, so they're gonna reach and hog all day. You look at Dallas and San Antonio. I'm gonna take Dallas over the Spurs for a simple fact. San Antonio's bench is a little less deeper than what Dallas brings off the bench, and Jason Terry and